Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Right. Let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say? All right. Okay, we have some chaos here. Looks like we have a lot of anxiety feelings. And I'm just going to apologize. I'm hearing outside maybe somebody's shooting fireworks. They might be shooting guns. I don't know. But there's popping going on outside, so you might hear some of that. Okay, and so our card for tonight is the Five of Swords. And this has everything to do with defeat, unfortunately. And that might be why we're seeing so much of this anxious, the tea leaves spread out all over, just kind of all over the place. And so we're going to, now, the defeat card, this doesn't have to be exactly that you lost something. But I think that, often this is kind of a passive suffering, limitations in your life coming up, maybe the ending of something, having to kind of reorient yourself, come at something with fresh eyes, a different approach, these kinds of things, okay? And so I want to start with actually this one right down here. And to me, it looks like a heart, okay? But it also looks like a dog with its mouth open. And I am feeling like this is in that emotional area. So I'm feeling like some kind of argument, falling out, conflict, something happened. There's some kind of dispute, okay? And I think that's where a lot of this anxiety is coming from, okay? I really feel like it is, tugging on your emotions. You are thinking about this a lot. You don't like conflict, okay? Who really does? Some people do, I guess, but most of us kind of avoid it, I think, or at least try to, find a way where we can work things out before it gets too worked up, right? And so I think this kind of just was a blow up of some kind. And I'm really... And I'm under the impression here that this is kind of, and I'm looking at this here, okay, and I feel like we're looking at maybe like a crab, okay, and I'm looking at this, it looks like some kind of, it makes me think of a building, right? But not the home exactly. And I think that this has to do with maybe where you work, okay? Or, I almost think it's like maybe a place you volunteer or a social club, a place that you have, interactions with other people, And I feel like there's a person that you know in this place that, and I feel like it's not, I feel like it's not like your close family unit. It's not like a best friend. It's not, you know, your parents or something like this. I think it's like somebody, it could be maybe like a sister-in-law, somebody that you work with, that, I don't know, I feel like you're about on the same, like a contemporary, right? Somebody who you're on the same level of power position, right? This isn't a superior. This isn't somebody who you oversee, but this is somebody who is not, you know, has the same pull as you do within the organization. Or, like I said, somebody in a social group, maybe a club, or like somewhere you volunteer. I don't know. But anyways, you're friendly. You like each other. Usually you get along. It's cordial at least. But something came up where, and I feel this is definitely has like the crescent moon in it. It came up where the tides had changed. Okay, there's this really kind of crabby, and I'm gonna use this right on the nose, crabby behavior, crabby mood, right? Just kind of short-tempered, mouthy, grumpy, a little ornery maybe, and there just was, you know, it did not go over well together, you two. So here's the thing though. I don't think that this was anybody's, I don't think that there was anybody who was more of the aggressor than the other. And this is maybe something you don't want to hear. But I think that you both had an equal amount of fault in whatever has happened, whatever's come up. I think that, you know, maybe there are more people involved in this. Like maybe if this is a work thing, like HR is involved, or, you know, your management is involved in some way. If this is family, you know, there might be some, you know, people taking sides and this kind of thing. But I think really what's important here is to kind of find a way to, well, find some room from each other, separate yourselves how you can. But see, this is the thing too, is that I feel like you are having a really hard time focusing on your normal things, because this has really affected you. I don't think you're the type of person who gets into arguments with people often. And actually, I was looking at this one, and it looks like a person in a boat. I feel like you really have this distinct kind of feeling of like, I wish I could just disappear. I wish I could get out of here. I don't want to be a part of this. You know, I don't know how to resolve this issue. So I feel like, you know, when these situations happen, first there just needs to be kind of a little cooling off period. I think that's, you know, normal for any kind of conflict. But I think also trying to go through this situation in your mind and think about, you know, kind of it like the therapy talk, like the I statements. Look at something that happened, a situation, a scenario, and look at where could you have maybe gone wrong? What could you have done differently? What do you wish you would have done differently? You know, maybe there was something, you know, that didn't come off the way that you meant. You know, trying to look at this from different perspectives. And I'm not saying, you know, come down on yourself hard or harshly. You know, but I think that it's important to take responsibility for our behaviors, for sure. And so, you know, I think in a mutual fault situation, we have to kind of do our due diligence and to kind of make it right where we can. Okay? And let's see. Okay, so we also have, it looks like kind of a person who has some kind of tool, and it almost feels like they're, you know, kind of turning up the soils. And I think that this is really, and I see almost, it looks like, I almost kind of look like, it's like a medieval painting where they have like the angels and they have a little scroll coming out of their mouth. They're uttering something. And I almost feel like it's kind of like this message from that divine place, wherever that is. And, you know, this is about taking the situation as a lesson, okay? Being kind to yourself. We all make mistakes, but also taking it as an opportunity to take responsibility, to kind of do better going forward. Definitely, you know, trying to figure out, like, where can I change some of the things that, how I interact with people, you know, and it doesn't have to be all better, right? Sometimes things, they get fractured, they never go back to how they were. I don't think that this is like a super important person in your life, but I think that if this is a person that you have to see often, you know, or sometimes, you know, it's worth kind of resolving issues. It's terrible to carry around all this anxiety that is unnecessary. We don't all have to like each other. It does not matter what people think of us, right? Most people don't even know each other at all, really. I mean, it's hard to even know the people that you love very much, you know. But, you know, in these more public spaces, in these more kind of detached social, you know, kind of interactions that we have to try to, I don't know, make it as comfortable for ourselves and others as we can, I think. I mean, that is my belief. I think that we are kind of, you know, we take care of one another. And I think it's important to try to, you know, they say, you know, stress, anxiety are really the number one things that make us ill, that cause, you know, chronic illnesses. And so I think it's really important for us to work on that for ourselves with our mindfulness and, you know, being of service, gratitude, all those kinds of things, but also to really try to limit how we negatively affect other people directly in our lives, especially, you know, when we have anger or we have kind of the impulse to act out, to be rude, to, you know, say terrible things to people or about people. You know, I think it's important to try to find a way to channel that into other things, right? And I do talk about on this channel, in my readings a lot, about this concept of sublimation, right? And so this is kind of taking some of those negative feelings or destructive feelings you know, and putting them into creative processes, creative on-takings, our, you know, artwork, our crafts, our writing, or, you know, building something, whatever it is, taking that, that kind of energy that we have that we would love to just purge onto other people, and putting it into something useful. Okay. And so I think that that's, you know, definitely something to think about for everybody, you know, myself included. There is rarely a day that goes by that I don't want to say something rude to somebody that kind of like strikes me as, you know, they're being rude to me and I want to kind of clap back, but I have to, you know, get it together because, you know, I don't want to hurt people that are careless with me, because I don't want it to continue to, like, you know, taint the pool, right? Like, let's stop the cycles of that, you know, and it's hard. And I'm not saying I always do it right, because often I mess up and I say something I shouldn't, or I'm, you know, a little bit snippy or whatever. And, you know, then I think about it forever. I'm like, oh, that was not the nicest thing to say. I shouldn't have been so cynical, or, you know what I mean? Just rude. And, so ultimately we're the ones that end up carrying that negative energy, right? And hopefully we can just do better from there. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm still looking at this. We have, well, we have an arrow here that looks like it's kind of broken, right? So I feel like there's also just on a deeper level, there just seems to be kind of a sense of not knowing exactly what to do with yourself or where to go. And I think that this kind of has something to do with how you're feeling. Okay, I think that maybe it would be a good time to maybe like sequester yourself a little bit, or go do something that helps you clear your mind and kind of think about, okay, where is this stemming from? Where are these kind of like, you know, little tentacles like reaching down into where? What is this that is making me feel this way? Okay. And so I feel like, you know, it really comes down to maybe feeling like you're not doing enough. You're not doing the things that you want to do. Time is passing by. There's not enough like focus or direction, you know. And I think that can cause a lot of resentment and anxiety and these kinds of things. So something to think about, maybe making a plan about how you are going to go through the steps of doing some of the things you want to do, even if they're just small. I can't tell you how, you know, every week I try to set a few goals of like deep cleaning or organizing or whatever, doing a project. And as the days tick by, and we're very busy, as everybody is so busy, you know, we all are. And as the days tick by and I like squander my time, or I don't have the time to do it, I'm exhausted, whatever, I find myself getting annoyed, you know, a little more volatile, I guess. And the thing that really I find helps me is getting the thing done, right? Or at least starting the project. Being more realistic. Okay, I'm gonna do this project. I'm gonna give myself, you know, 2 weeks to get this whole thing done, and I'm gonna do, you know, a little bit, you know, on the days that I have some time. And it's okay if it takes a couple weeks, but it will get done, right? So anyways, I think that having these making the plans and following through, even if it is spread out, baby steps, right? That's okay. But it gives you a sense of progress, and that's important. I think feeling good about what we're doing, feeling like we can accomplish, all of that is so important. Okay, so we have and now this one looks like a 2, okay, like the number 2. And then I kind of almost feel like I almost feel like there's like a sense of like somebody visiting, or you going to visit somebody, and it's not going to be like a long visit, but I think that part of the anxiety is around this kind of visit. I think that you have been putting it off for a while, but I think once you get into it, it's going to feel nice, like a reprieve from all this other stuff. Okay. And I feel I keep getting this feeling of like a sister, the sister-in-law, something, but I feel like this is somebody who, it's like when you're apart from each other, it can be weird. You don't really always know where each other kind of lands with how you feel about things. But when you're together, it's so easy. And it's always been a weird kind of dance between these two things. So I think, though, once you get there, it'll be nice. Or once they come. So I don't know why that keeps coming up, but yeah, I think that this is going to be helpful. And I think that this will help kind of get some things sorted out for you, okay? Even if it's just talking the stuff through, okay? And so I'm going to say thank you for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. You know, we're growing the channel one person at a time. If you have not subscribed, think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And between now and the next Libra reading, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising, Venus, and what is the, oh yes, cross-watching. Yeah, I know a lot of people like to cross-watch videos and stuff. So other than that, if you want to leave a comment, I read them all. I appreciate them all. You all are very sweet, very kind, and so generous, sharing your stories and experiences. I just really, I look forward to reading them. So I want to thank you, and we will talk again very soon.